Hello everyone, welcome to ForceOps. In Salesforce ecosystem, we are seeing an increasing use of the terminology VCS, version control system, which is for good. I mean, you all are versioning our code base the best. We can track it, whatever changes are happening, which kind of helps not just during the issues but also during the enhancement request if I want to track something. Now, when we talk about VCS, we know what is GitHub and GitLab, kind of my repository keepers in the cloud or on my local system. When we talk about, but let's keep the conversation to cloud. When we talk about cloud, how maybe a local system or a data center qualifies as a cloud. There are separate parameters for it, and we can discuss it maybe in some other session, but not the scope of this discussion. So what happens is, when my repository is there in GitHub or GitLab, the two terms which are used interchangeably when I'm operating with my repository is clone and fork. So they can be used interchangeably to establish a good governance for your project. Now, how do we do that? What is the main difference? So clone is, as the name suggests, right? You have your repository, you clone it on your local, a new developer onboards and he or she clones it on his or her local as soon as he or she gets the access. So this process is known as cloning. What is a fork? Fork is a process where maybe you are not confident, or as per the process you don't want changes directly to happen in your this original repository. You want a copy of the original repository on which changes keep happening and maybe kind of merged later on. So how do you create a copy of that repository so that copy will exist on GitHub or GitLab? This process is known as fork. You are forking a repository. Now when you do that, repository still exists on the same platform where the original repository is existing. After forking, and once you are having a duplicate repository, you can give the developer access to the duplicate repository and he or she can do a clone of the forked repository, make changes, check in, pull, and the same changes can be kind of propagated to your original repository with the help of merge request. Or new changes from original repository can be kind of pulled to the duplicate repository or forked repository with the help of a PR, pull request. So this process can be governed as there are several policies which is offered by the cloud platforms like GitHub or GitLab, and this can establish a good governance for your DevOps process. And we are going to see it in detail in the upcoming sessions, practical demos. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. Happy Diwali.